Hey everyone, welcome back to Branded. If you've been following along in this Brand AF, the alignment formula series that I've been rolling out, you already know that we started the series by looking at your calendar, right? Because how you treat your time tells the truth about how your business is being run. And then we moved into boundaries because boundaries are very important. This is teaching people how available you are and how you treat your business. So, boundaries plus your calendar. And today we're diving into a chat about what your business actually rests on. And I really wanted to close out 2025 with this topic in particular because it is one of the most impactful things that your business can do. How your business actually operates behind the scenes is what all of this beautiful stuff sits on top of. So if you have a really shaky, crumbly foundation, your business is going to start seeping through the cracks. So yes, fix your calendar. Yes, set your boundaries, but don't forget that when you run your business entirely from your brain, everything eventually starts feeling harder than it should be. And this episode is not about optimizing or perfecting anything. It's about making your business feel calm and clear and supported. Really, like supported is the primary word here, the key word. So, here's the real problem nobody really talks about. Most business owners, they don't feel burnt out because they hate their business and they don't like what they do. They feel burned out because every client that they onboard feels slightly different. Every project that they're doing feels like they're reinventing the wheel. Every task that they take on takes on way more mental energy than it should. And over time, that friction that's happening, it adds up. And it adds up really quietly, which is why it's a little bit dangerous. Because one day you'll basically realize, well, I really love what I do, but I don't love how it feels to run this business. And that's not a mindset or a motivation issue. That's an operations issue. And what's so great about that is it can be fixed. It can be attended to. So, when I say how your business operates behind the scenes, I'm talking about things like what happens when, like the moment someone books or signs with you, right? How are clients welcomed? How are they informed? How are they guided through the journey? Where do your files live? And can you actually find them? Question of the decade, right? How communication happens within your business and how often maybe it doesn't happen because your brain's too busy, right? And things like what are you doing repeatedly that you could simplify or perhaps outsource and be supported? These are the things I'm talking about when I say how your business operates behind the scenes. And yes, 100%, these are the unglamorous parts of your business. Absolutely. These are the parts that most people put off because they don't really feel that urgent until they are, until everything starts slipping through the cracks. You start forgetting appointments. You don't have a client deliverable on time. Calls are getting booked, but no reminders are going out. So people aren't showing up. This is what happens. And then it becomes a problem. So yeah, it is very unglamorous. And yes, it doesn't feel urgent, but one day it will. So why not give your attention to it at least once a year? Zone your attention back to your business, do a little bit of cleanup and tidying for your systems. Guarantee you're going to be walking into that new year with a much lighter feeling and a much calmer and more enjoyable business to run. The unfortunate part about this, when your systems are shaky and crumbling like this, your clients feel this. Whether you think they do or not, they do. This translates. And even if your client can't really name exactly what it is, some clients might know, oh, well, I booked and then I got no communication. Okay, yes, that's an issue, right? But a lot of times it's so quiet, the little missteps that are happening within your systems, within your foundation, that the client doesn't really even know what it is that is making them feel this way, but they can feel it. They'll feel it when something like they're unsure about what's next in the journey when it comes to working with you. That uncertainty is not good. They'll have if they have to follow up more than once to get an answer from you, that's an issue. If there's always a feeling of being inconsistent or reactive in your communication when they try to reach out to you, that's an issue. And especially if you're always seeming like rushed or scattered anytime they have an interaction, that's a problem. These are things that will turn a client into a past client. We want repeat business, right? Of course, generating new leads is important, but take care of the people that you have. And when you take care of the people you have, they will continue working with you again and again and again. But if you find yourself in this trap where your systems are quietly crumbling below you and you're not doing anything about it, you will lose clients because of this. And it's not because you don't care about your business. I know that. You probably care so much that you're putting all of your time and energy into all sorts of other aspects of your business. It's pretty likely, though, that you're running way too much of your business manually from your brain. You can't have all of the aspects of your business living in your brain. There has to be some parts of it that you extract and create a system out of. Because honestly, you'll just get way too overwhelmed if you don't. A calm client experience, a really great client experience, starts with a business that feels really good to run. That energy translates. So don't put yourself into the trap of, well, I'll fix it next year. Guess what? It's next year. I just need to get through this season. Guess what? The season's almost over. I don't have time to deal with it right now. Are you ever going to have time to deal with it? Schedule it in, right? We just talked about booking your calendar to fit your energy level. This is part of it, right? Taking care of your business is 100% something that should be scheduled into your calendar. So why would you want to carry a heavy business into a new year? That doesn't feel good. Make it lighter. Remove some of those friction points. You're going to thank your future self will thank you, first off, and your clients will thank you. So when you're ready to do this kind of work, because today might not be the day when you're listening to this, and I get that, this is what this actually looks like. It's not a full overhaul. It's not any kind of fancy software I'm telling you to go buy. I'm not telling you to go hire a team. You just need to find a little bit of clarity in a few places, such as a clear onboarding flow process, whatever you want to call it, a clear onboarding journey that you don't have to think about every time someone new comes into your world. Define touch points so clients know what to expect. Like if you are going to communicate with them on day one and you're not going to have contact with them for 30 days until you check in with them again, depending on your style of business, make sure they know that, right? Because if someone's used to being communicated with every 2 to 3 days, but in your business, you do communication, you do check-ins once a month or something like that, people need to know that information. Create these defined touch points and let them know, hey, I'm going to reach out to you on this date. We're going to follow up, blah, blah, blah. We'll have this communication. Are your files organized in a way that future you will be able to find them? I've started using Google Docs in a way that I have never used it before, and I'm loving it. The tabs function, I have everything named appropriately. I have things sitting in folders inside of a drive. There's all sorts of ways you can organize your life. Figure out what works for you because you need to be able to find your shit. You don't want to spend an hour trying to look for something. And of course, lastly, messages and steps that don't rely on your memory. So Clarity in these areas, having clear onboarding, having defined touch points, having your files organized, and having messages or steps in the process that are sort of automated, that your memory doesn't have to rely on, like, oh shit, I got to go email this person their next step because, it's due, and you can automate those things. Those things can be sent out. You can set reminders for yourself. Things don't have to be so urgent and so anxiety driven. If everything is living in your head, your business will always feel heavier than it should be. A brand that feels aligned isn't just how it looks or sounds, it's how it functions day to day. Alignment isn't just visible, it's operational. So when you wake up to a new year, which is happening really soon if you're watching this live, ask yourself, what part of my business is asking to be supported? Not pushed, not powered through, not forced, just supported. Because you don't want or need to fix everything at once. You don't have to do all of it at once. Pick one system, pick one process, one decision that makes your business easier to run, and that work will compound. Guaranteed. And that's how you build a brand that actually feels good to run. And that's my goal for you. That's what I want for you. There are so many business owners that launch their businesses. They're so excited. They can't wait for, the world to see what they have going on. And 6 months later, 3 years later, 5 years later, they quit. That's not the goal. You don't want to start a business in order to quit the business. You want longevity, you want sustainability, and this is how you get it. Having a business that feels good to run is a business that lasts. I hope you have a fabulous week. Rounding out your 2025, obviously, if you're not listening to this live, I hope you're having a great week wherever you are in the world. I'll see you in 2026 with a brand new episode. We're going to continue the brand alignment formula series. We've got a couple more episodes in it, and they're really going to be powerful. We're going to start digging into some of the more fun stuff because the first few episodes were definitely more technical, more functional, more foundational, but we've got some really good stuff on the horizon, and thank you all for being here. I'll see you next week. Bye.